Well, I originally fell in love with him because he had such a great sense of humor.
他就是不是说只注重我们的外形啊，或者说我们的穿着打扮这样子，那可能他注重的就是我们的工作。
一个外国人在这片陌生的土地上，他愿意用他自己的时间，还有他自己的关怀，在别的人的土地上，我觉得这是非常让我感动，觉得难能可贵的部分。
5、4、3、2。
我叫欧阳锋，我来自南非。14 years ago, I came to Taiwan from South Africa. Things were not going well in my home country, and I wanted to make a new life for myself. I'm now in a position where I can give back to the community. Yang Feng was a Kung Fu novel character. He was an assassin. He used to kill people, and his specialty was poison. In Taiwan, if I tell people my name, they will say one of two things. They all either say, "Oh, he was a bad man. Who chose that name for you?" Or they say, "Oh, yeah, he's very strong. He was a good man." It kind of goes both ways, you know. I started as a video cameraman in Namibia, just north of South Africa. And it was a very exciting time because Namibia became independent in that time. And I was doing a lot of wildlife work, but I also really became interested in the human aspect. Obviously, I've just been doing for a little over 10 years now. I came first to Taiwan in May of 1998. And I got a job right away. With my first paycheck, I was able to pay my wife's ticket to come here. Both of my wife and I, when we came to Taiwan, we started working right away to make a new living for ourselves. And we found the country and the way along the way. 你好，谢谢。Every time when I drive through one of those booths, I'm reminded of the fact that those women touch with their hands thousands of people every day, but almost nobody has any personal contact with them, you know? They're faceless, they're completely invisible. It's just a hand and you sort of just pass your money or your ticket. So I've been thinking for a long time that's a project that maybe might be one of my next big projects.
2007年 ，Tobie 以槟榔西施为主题举行了一场摄影展。这些作品呈现了他敏锐的观察角度，以及对台湾这片土地的关怀。
One of the hardest parts about shooting beaten nut girls is to stop them from doing that when you want to take their photo, because when you point the camera at any Taiwanese girl, she always wants to do something. So it's always hard. I have to tell them, please, no, just continue to do what you do, you know. Hello. Yeah, it's okay. How are you? Long time no see. Huh? You good? Wow, you look good.
拍摄槟榔西施绝非易事，托比多年来依靠助理 Joy 替他进行前置与沟通作业。今天他们来到苗栗头份，造访一位老朋友。
It's totally impossible for me to do my work without Joy, you know, because if I, as a foreign guy, to show up with my camera and say, hey, can I take a picture? The girls will always say no. 漂亮哦。
接下来对您本身进行简单的拍摄，然后呢，待会我会做一些专访。为什么？就是说你在那边上班多久啦？然后呢，你在这边工作的甘苦谈啦，比如说有时候客人会不会对你毛手毛脚啦，或者是说，有时候你晚上工作会不会有点太害怕啦？一个人的时候啦。You know, the daytime girl shift. They switch the shift,
yeah.
Daytime and nighttime. So the小不点 started this month.
Because she used to be on the night shift.
Yeah.
When I came to Taiwan about 15 years ago, driving home from the airport, that was one of the first things I noticed were these colorful glass boxes by the side of the road with beautiful girls sitting inside wearing very little clothes. I started asking local people about this phenomenon. And they would always say, oh, it's bad girls. Don't talk about it. Oh, we don't even want to talk about it, you know. So I very quickly realized that there was this sort of split between what people thought about this subject.
就我几个跟其他摄影师工作的经验，发觉他们主要的来意并是对这个工作的女孩子感到好奇，但是他们很少会像 Tobie 一样去发掘他们后面的一些工作的环境、工作的内容，甚至于工作的安全度。我们就是要拍到最真实、非常其实工作的真实的一面。Tobie 最多就是说，好，请你就你现在的工作继续做，我们在旁边做侧拍，尽量甚至于不让它影响到工作。
在这里上班，其实几乎每天都还是会遇到，像客人还是会想拍我们。对镜头摆出就是，比如说你要的感觉、你要的 pose 啊，还有表情。然后像就是 Tobie 拍的，可能就是拍我们的工作情形啊，就是拍我们的专业度啊，就是跟那一种比较不太一样。可能灰啊会咬到手，然后手会受伤，或是就是有色差，就是在这个。外人看来觉得我们好像很轻松就坐在这里。假如说客人讲一些比较不礼貌的话，因为我们是服务业，我们还是要笑笑的，拿给他东西回来，可能心里就是会不舒服。可是这就是我们的工作。
So you know, this work, like any other job, has health implications for the girls. Working with the scissors all day long, so they will get carpal tunnel just like somebody working with a mouse on the computer all the time. It's so completely unique to Taiwan. We do not see this anywhere else in the world, you know. So I obviously very soon also learned that betel nut is really bad for you. It's not healthy, it's not good for the health, it's not good for the environment. But I did want to find out more about the girls and why do people have such divided opinions about them. That has many, many layers, you know. So I always try to dig through the many layers. It's the girls who maybe didn't have the choices that you and I have, maybe don't have the education that you and I have access to. Let's at least not make them out to be the bad guys in the business.
他的工作也就是希望借由他的采访、他的摄影，能够让外界的人知道，他们就是 just another girl。我们不应该套上一些框框在他们身上。
Okay, everybody sit down.
Good afternoon, Miss Openshaw.
Okay, now just to show everybody how excellent you are with spelling. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who can finish the word? Jessica, quickly. Quick.
Tobie 的太太 Connie 在台北双语学校担任英文老师，而 Tobie 本身也在台北美国学校从事教职。
Not too, shouldn't be too straight again, you know. There should be a little bit of a ripple in it.
Out. Next week is the start for it. Slate out.
So, yeah.
So next week is the start of auditions for. Next week is the start of auditions for the IASIS Cultural Convention.
We have a small studio here, and which I manage, and I shoot all the school events. Recently, the students started up from their own initiative something called Tiger TV. It's pretty much driven by the students. They decide on the content and so on. I just advise them on it, help them with the technical things. I think for me to have the opportunity to help them to learn how to use media in their daily life and how to use it for communication is wonderful. I love it.
The first time I met him, I thought he was kind of, mean.
第一次应该就是觉得说他是一个很凶的人，就是看起来很怕，就看起来有点 pressure.
Even though sometimes he's very straightforward, I think that straightforward helps because I know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong, and he is very knowledgeable and teaches me a lot.
I was a journalist back in South Africa, and for the past 14 years that we've lived here, I've been an English teacher. We came here, I had to get used to not kind of be behind a microphone and be the one who asks questions to other people. Now I had to be in front of a group of kids, and they're sitting there and they're waiting for you to entertain them. So that was really scary in the beginning. Who is wise in this story, Jason?
The grandmaster is wise in this story.
Okay, this is? Okay, very good. What else? I like to get kids involved in class discussions. I always like to see how they tick, what they think about things, how they see the world. And then I also found out that I actually really like working with children. And that's the moment, I think, where I really started liking it.
每周五下课后，口内无暇休息，他必须赶到市中心的爱慈社会福利基金会，协助照顾那儿的孩子。
I've been doing this for quite a few years now. So, and the excitement of going to get the baby every Friday afternoon is so great, I just make for the exit. Hi, Evan.
Yeah.
爱慈专门收容疑似艾滋带源的孤儿，这些宝宝的母亲都是艾滋带源者。4年来 ，Openshaw 一家已经协助照顾4个小宝贝了。
我们这是24小时的照护，是24小时，那是分3班的哈。如果礼拜6、礼拜天，我们其实就还要再排1班啊。那时候我们就在想说，那么是不是有可能有一些的周末寄养家庭，它是整个家庭来做这个服务，一方面可以分担我们工作人员的一些的服务，另外一个很重要的就是它也可以透过这样子的一个家庭式的一个照顾呢，它也有正常的一些家庭的生活。那对于孩子来讲的身心发展，其实也是很好的。
And more fast.
Harder, faster.
No, he stopped coughing by this Tuesday.
By Tuesday he started coughing?
Yeah, so because today she's coughed so much and he's pretty have some noise inside.
Right.
So we take it to hospital to see the doctor.
是1cc.
Now medicine you put it, this one can open. Every time you need to clean.
Yeah,
so this
for
one
sure.
can remove and
Okay.
this.
His chest is apparently okay, but it's kind of struggling to breathe a bit, and he's got a runny nose. I've brought up my own 3 kids, and they also have the usual children's sicknesses and stuff, so I have no problem dealing with this as well, sure.
That's why I don't want to have kids. They just come company for a few times, they'll
And
run
then
away.
they go away.
Yeah, maybe by 18 they'll run away.
So that's why I take care of babies. Now they grow up and they leave your house and then they don't want you anymore, they just want their friends. I kind of really found that I like taking care of babies, so some people think I'm a bit strange, but I really like to do it.
其实每个家庭，他们带了一个孩子之后，结束那个关系，其实他们通常就会休息一段时间，因为他觉得投入了很多的感情，他其实很难再重新投入照顾另外一个孩子。可是他们非常的勇敢，1、2个月之后，他就可以接续带另外一个孩子。就这样子连续带了4个孩子，我觉得他们很不容易，他们就是自己去平复那个分离的部分、失落的部分，但是他们愿意继续再爱我们的孩子，我觉得这个部分是很感动的。
Tobie 的3个孩子都非常乐意在周末协助爸妈照顾疑似艾滋宝宝。女儿 Catherine 特别喜爱小 baby， 但她却有个小小的遗憾。
他是男生，我们的猫咪是一个男生，我们4个照顾的小 baby 都是男生。
She has said to me before, please, for the next baby, we take it to orphanage, make sure that it's a girl.
And we probably will. We already saw the baby. My mom thinks we're going to be able to take care of her. Yeah. After.
Are you hungry? Want to eat some food? Since we've been in Taiwan for almost 15 years already, there's not really very much that I miss anymore. Our parents would of course like to see their grandchildren, and our children would like to see their grandparents, but it really costs a lot of money every time to go back to South Africa. It's been more than 3 years since we've been back to South Africa now for some time. And you know, Taiwan has become so much our home that we really like to go back, and we like to visit our family and eat the local food and everything in South Africa, but after a week or so we feel we want to come back to home, because home is really now Taiwan for us.
妈妈要把香香带回家的时候，我觉得很像我是她的姐姐，然后我的弟弟回来了。
This age is perfect because they're kind of just becoming aware of things, and that they can do things, and that they can move around. It's quite amazing. That's why I like it so much, and especially for us, we only see him over weekends. So it's amazing. Every weekend you see him, he's grown a little bit more. Like last weekend we found out that he kind of finally started walking. So that was a huge thing in the house.
Yeah. Come. Come, Shane. Go. Here we go. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Let go of his...
Yeah, jayo.
Every weekend there's something different. That's why to people who say, how can you do this over weekends on top of a full-time job? I say to them, that's what makes my week worthwhile. Is on a Friday afternoon I get to go pick him up, and that makes everything else, any problems that I had, it makes kind of really quite insignificant. Taking care of babies over weekends, it's I don't ever see it as taking away time from me, but giving me that kind of extra quality and kind of joy basically in my life, of being able to do this for a kid.
在 Tobie 一家人照料下，原本感冒的小宝宝终于慢慢好转了。趁今天天气晴朗 ，Tobie 带着家人到碧潭度过周末。
His temperature went up a bit yesterday, so at some stage we thought we'd have to take him to the hospital, but then it started going better, so he was playing around this morning.
Okay, feet on bipedals, everybody.
There was a time in our lives when we were really poor, that we had to depend on the goodness of other people. It gives us an opportunity. I wouldn't consider us rich, but we have enough money to help. I suppose there's different ways that you can help. Taking care of the babies to suit me so well, I bring this baby into the household, and it helps all of us to kind of just think a bit more, think a bit broader outside of ourselves, and just what we want to giving to someone else.
每到周末 ，Taipei Comedy Club 就会有大批外国朋友聚集在此，享受饮料以及逗趣的脱口秀。
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll bring you on quickly to the very last act of the evening. He is a man who is older than me and more facial hairy than me. Tobie Openshaw. Tobie Openshaw, please. Tobie Openshaw, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Any South Africans in the house? No, one over there, right. South Africa, the land where men are men and sheep are nervous. Okay, when I came to Taiwan, you know, one of the things that we have to learn here is to deal with the cultural differences that we are faced with here. And in South Africa, or in Africa, we have a saying that, you know, the guy who makes the rules is the guy with the AK-47 and the camel pants, right? But I tell you, in Taiwan, it's the 45-kilogram nurse with a Hello Kitty badge and a needle.
平日严肃的欧阳锋，到了舞台上居然逗趣横生，而他的笑话都来自于对文化差异的体会。这或许是常年摄影工作所培养出来的洞察力。
Because my Chinese is embarrassingly poor, I can usually not have a whole conversation by myself. Most photographers will tell you that a nod and a smile will get you by all over the world, you know. And if you show your good intention to people, generally they won't mind. Most of the time also I try to stay back a little bit and just take the natural situation, because the moment when you insert yourself into the situation, then people's behavior change and they act differently, you know. I'm always interested in the human angle and what makes people tick and what motivates people to do things or to live their lives in certain ways. And also just observing people in their private moments is interesting, you know, because everybody has a story.
Tobie 从去年开始投身于名为“五峰计划”的公益活动，和其他外国友人一起帮助偏乡部落的原民儿童。今年他更自费造访纽西兰的毛利人，希望促成毛利青年前来面晤台湾泰雅族人。
When I went to New Zealand, I expected the Maori people to have the same level and the same difficulties that indigenous people all over the world face. And they have, but they have come very far with development, with establishing their culture as part of their national identity. And I think it will be wonderfully inspiring for those young Maori people to come here to Taiwan, share their experience and their culture. Because I think that the indigenous people in Taiwan have had their culture suppressed for a long, long time.
I sometimes complain that he doesn't spend enough time at home. At the same time, we know that he tries as much as he can, on the one hand, to be home whenever he can, and that the projects that he is involved in is in general kind of really good for the community.
There's an old saying that I very strongly believe in that says, a man can only do what a man can do. But if he does it, he can sleep at night and he can do it again the next day. I come from a background where I've not always had it easy. I think that it's important for me to be able to give back to the community. I like to think that I want to make the world a better place, and I can't make it in a big scale, but I can make it on a small scale. I feel if I've made one or two people's lives a little bit better today, then if I can do that every day, the world will be a better place already.